Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Oston back again with some simple video series about Git. What you should note is, you shouldn't be a web developer to learn Git. You can be a designer, anyone that wants to keep track of his or her files, collaborate with other people across the world. Let's say you're in India, I'm here in Uganda, you're in the USA, we can easily work on the same project using this tool, and it's also one of the industry standard that people use in their day-to-day life. A day in the life of a programmer, Git must appear. So guys, this is what we are going to be looking at in this video series on the channel that I'm going to be publishing very soon, starting with this. What is Git? And I'm going to read out the definition loud. So Git is a free and open distributed version control system designed to handle everything from small to very large projects with speed and efficiency. So those two words are one or some of the reasons why they created this tool, speed and efficiency. So they wanted speed and efficiency in the workflow. And another thing that you should note about this statement or this definition, there are two highlighted statements or words: free and open source. Being free, you shouldn't pay any single coin or money to anyone to use this tool. And another word is version control. So version control on itself is a question, and I'm going to be explaining it in the next slide. But first, let us look at the short history here. So it was developed by Linus Torvalds, written in these languages C, Java and Python. As I said, version control. So what is a version control? So version control is a system that records changes to a file or set of files over time so that you can recall specific versions later. Let's say when you create files, edit files, save files or delete files. A simple live example: let's say me and you, we are working on a website and we push these changes to the live server. So but later on we realize that we made a mistake in our header section. Something is not working out right, maybe the slider is not working out right. Then we can revert or recall the previous version when we never had that slider, and we push it back to the internet so that our users don't see that error. So we can remove the version that has the error and we put the previous version or any version that we had previously that was working correctly, and we take it back to the live website. So that's one of the important things about this version control system. So you can easily recall specific versions later. Let's say we delete a file accidentally, we can revert back and reget that file, so it will still be on our system so long as we don't delete the whole repository. And all the terms that I've been using, you're going to be learning them in this video series. And some of the terms that we're going to be learning, as I said, there's git add, git status, git commit, git push, git pull, and so much more as we go on. So you'll get to know what all these terms or statements do in your day as a developer, as a designer, as anyone, so long as you'll be using this tool, Git. So fortunately, the moment this video ends, you're going to go rest, watch other tutorials, which is not bad, but take some time, visit that link, I'm going to leave it in the description below, download the Git Pro book. This book was not written by me, it was written by those guys who created this tool, Git. Then make sure you read through it, because we may miss out some things in this video series, but still I'm going to make sure we don't miss a lot, or we may not miss at all. But take some time. I may not explain everything very well or to your understanding. Then take some time, read through this, spare like 1 hour to 2 hours, then read through the different commands, how you can use Git, and it will go deep even in advanced topics. So make sure you check out that book. I'm going to leave the link in the description below. Yeah guys, I'm going to see you in the next tutorials. Peace, stay safe. Welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can get Git and get started. So go on Google and search for Git. It will be one of the first sites that they will bring to you. So click on Git, and depending on the operating system that you'll be using, it's what will be displayed in this frame computer. So you have to click here, download Git, and it will go and download Git on your PC. So depending on your location where you saved your downloads, go and click that file that will be downloaded on your PC. It's very simple. It's just 26 megabytes. So just wait for it to get done. It will be a simple install and you'll be good to go. So there's nothing complicated, but when you're installing, make sure you select Git bash, because it's one of the command line interface that we are going to be using. So when Git is finally installed on your PC, when you right click anywhere on your computer, right click, you'll be seeing it here, Git graphical user interface here, or Git bash here. So we are going to be using this Git bash command line interface that it provides you. So this is what we are going to be using when you are working with Git. Right now I'm on my desktop and I can create a file, do what, edit files, for example make directory Oston, and when you click enter, a new folder will be created on the desktop. So we are going to be using this Git bash command line to start using Git. I'll see you in the next video. Peace. Welcome back to the channel. In this simple video, I'm going to show you how you can configure your Git bash command line interface. As you saw in the last tutorial, we managed to create this file using our Git bash that we installed on the PC. Then remember, you can click on the file that you want to use as your working directory, or click anywhere that you want to start your project from. So I'm just going to click on the desktop and I say Git bash here. So there are two options that they give you. They give you the graphical user interface, so the Git GUI here, and also the Git bash here. So we are going to be using Git bash for the sake of this tutorial, because I want you guys to get used to the command line interface. So I'm just going to select Git bash here, and when you do that, they are going to show you that you're on the desktop. So if you want to see the path where you are currently, just type pwd, so it's print working directory, press enter, and they will show you the root directory of where you started your project from. So right now we are on the desktop, so you can right clear to clear all that out. As I said, we are going to be configuring this command line interface to our username and email. The reason why we do this is when you commit changes, you have to let other guys know who made these changes. Let's say me personally, I make changes, I save them. Then when you come on the PC and you're trying to see who made these commits or who saved these changes, then you'll be able to see the person who did that by looking at their name and email. Now let us get started. To configure this command line interface to your information, just write git, then config -- global, then user .name, and the name that I'm going to put in, open double quotes, just going to write Oston code Cypher. So this is the name that I want Git to save. Press enter, and then for the email, we are going to write the same command, changing only the user.name to email. So git config -- global user.email, open our double quotes. I'm just going to write admin at So you put your email at code.com. So that's my email. Press enter, and that will be the information that other guys will be seeing when they are checking your commits or changes. And to check that information that you have entered in, just write git config, then -- list. Press enter, and when you are to check at the bottom, you will see user.name and user.email, and that's the information that you entered in. So whenever you commit changes, then those commits will be bearing this information. So Oston Code Cypher made this commit with this email. So guys, I hope this tutorial was useful to you, and the shortcut for checking this configuration information, let us first write clear. Then you can just write the shortcut git config, then -l. So the other one was -- list, and this is the shorthand, so -l, and you'll be able to see that information. So as you can see, there's a lot that you can change, but now that's out of the scope of this tutorial. I just wanted to show you guys how you can save in your name and email, so that whenever you make changes or commits, then they will be bearing your information. So Oston Code Cypher made this commit, Oston Code Cypher deleted this file. So I hope guys this tutorial was useful to you. If so, please consider subscribing to the channel, and I will always see you in the next tutorial. Peace. Hello Lensmen, in this simple tutorial I'm going to teach you about the different git commands that you can use. For the sake of this tutorial, we are going to start with git add, git status, git commit, and git checkout. So those are some of the commands that I'm going to be showing you in this simple tutorial. As always, I'm just going to open my git bash on the desktop. So but depending on the folder where you will be working from, make sure you open that folder into Git. So right now I've just opened Git on my desktop. I'm going to create a simple folder here, make directory, so mkdir, make directory, and I'm going to call it my site, and Git will go ahead and give us this site. So we have created this site using our Git command line interface. Then let us navigate or enter this folder. So cd stands for change directory. Then you can write the name of the folder that you want if it's simple, like my site, as we have done. But if it's really complicated, you can just write cd, then carry the folder, and they will give you the root path, and just press enter. So right now we are inside this folder of my site. Currently the folder is empty, but now we want to create some simple files in it. So to create files, we just write touch, then the names of the file, so touch space index.html, then I want style.css, then I want app.js. So the moment you press enter, 3 files will be created inside this folder. I'm not going to make this tutorial about programming, so we are just going to write some simple markup that we are going to be working with, but I'm not going to write complicated code because we are focusing on Git. We want to see how Git controls your projects. So I'm going to open this current working directory into a text editor. You can be using the Windows Notepad, Notepad++, you can be using VS Code, any text editor that you'll be using. So I'm using VS Code for this tutorial, but if you have Sublime, there's nothing wrong with that. Just get this folder and open it in your favorite text editor. So I'm going to open VS Code by writing code dot. So we are telling VS Code to open in the current directory that we are working with. So code dot, and they will open the text editor in that current directory. So I can close out this folder, we don't need it. What you're seeing here is VS Code having these 3 files that we created. Then right now Git does not know anything about these files or about this folder that we're using. Now to let Git know about this folder, we need to initialize this working directory by writing git init. So we are initializing Git in this current directory. So press enter and I will say initialized empty Git repository in this root directory. So we have just initialized Git in this directory. So here they are showing you a simple file. It's called .git and it's a hidden file because right now you cannot see it or anywhere in your folder. So it's where Git saves all the changes that we are going to be making. Right now let us go in our HTML index.html file. We just style the button and when the user clicks it, we see you subscribed. So that's the simple styling that I want us to be having. So right now we are having our simple markup, the files. We have app.js, index.html and style.css. So as you saw, we initialized this working directory, the my site folder, for Git to know about these files. So right now, if you are to write a simple command called git status, as its name suggests, we are trying to check the status of this working directory. So what's going on in this directory? And right now they are telling us we have untracked files in our working directory. And the good thing with this interface, they show you how you can add files to the staging area, and I'm going to also talk about that. So right now this status, this command that you're seeing here, git status, it just gives you the status of your working directory. So what's going on in the working directory? And right now they are telling us we have untracked files. So Git does not know anything about these files, and for Git to know about them, then we need to push them to the staging area. And to do that, we use a command called git add. So here they are showing even the syntax. Just write git add and the file name. Then I'm first going to show you the first way or simplest way to do this. Write git add and also write the name of the file, so app.js. So right now app.js will be pushed into the staging area. But what if you have a lot of files and you don't want to write each file at its on its own? So to do that, you just write git add dash capital A. So git add all. So that's also another way of adding these files to the staging area. And to check if these files are pushed to the staging area, again you just write git status, and here they will show you that yeah, these are the changes that are waiting to be committed. So right now all these files are pushed to the staging area. So Git is waiting for you to decide, do you want to save these changes that you have put to the staging area, or you want to remove? So let's say we don't want to push this to the staging area, the app.js. Here Git shows you a command that you can use to unstage or remove that file from the staging area. Then let us try that, because we don't want the app.js file to be pushed or saved. So we can say git rm, short for remove, -- cached. Then you write the file name, so it's app.js. so what you're seeing here, git remove -- cached app.js, and that file will be removed from the staging area. Let me first clear the screen. So if we run git status, they will show that these files are ready to be committed, or they're in the staging area, but you have untracked files that are not added to the staging area, so which is app.js. Then it's the right opportunity right now to show you another command that you can use in case you don't want to use this git add-a. If you don't want to use this command of adding all files to the staging area, then you can just put a period or a dot. So git add period, so this will add everything in the working directory. So this one is another way of writing -a. So -all, or put a period. So we want to add this app.js back to the staging area, and I can write the file name, but I want to show you this. So also this can work. You'll be adding everything in that working directory to the staging area. So just click enter, and also our app.js will be added to the staging area. So if we check git status, so I hope you're getting used to the commands. So git status checks on the status of the working directory. So changes to be committed, all these files are ready to be saved. So if you want to remove a file, they always display for you the command to do that. Then run this git remove -- cached and the file name. So but everything looks fine, everything is working. Then let us look at the next command, so the git commit. So this is like the secondary save in the Git's world. So when you write git commit, you have to pass in the m flag, and what this m flag stands for is for message. Let's say you have added some styling to the header section, then it's here where you write your message. So I added this and this in the header section. So right now, since this is our first commit, the message that we are going to pass in is going to be initial commit. But remember, this is user defined. You can write anything that you want, but since it's the character and this is our first commit, then the message that I'm going to pass is initial commit. When you press enter, then git, did I write commit correctly? Git commit, we pass in the message. So I don't know where this T came from, but it's not supposed to be there. Commit, then press enter. Why are they seeing two T's there? Let me first clear the, so we write git status, git status, then we write git commit, then -m, and we say initial commit, and press enter, and they are going to save our files in Git history. So right now all our files are saved. So even if somebody comes later, let me first clear this. So right now what we have done is we have saved this first. We have taken a screenshot of these files. So right now Git is having everything about these files in its memory. So right now, even if somebody evil comes and does something like this, removes all that, saves, closes the file, goes to the app.js, removes that, saves, closes that, then closes that. Then if even this person is too evil to this extent that he goes in this folder and does something like this, so carries this, takes them to the recycle bin, and they are too evil that they even empty the recycle bin and they close the project. So you don't need to worry about anything. Git has you covered. So right now you can see we have lost everything, and this is where the git checkout command comes in. So right now all our hard work has been deleted. The person went to the recycle bin and removed everything, and Git comes to the rescue. You just write git checkout dash dash and the period. So what we are telling Git is bring back whatever was inside this directory that you once saved. So when you press enter, then Git will bring back all the files that we had lost. So as you can see here, we have the files back. Then also our files came back here. So if you have to check, all this information will be back. So nothing has been lost. That person, evil person, thinks that he has hurt us. Nothing has happened. So Git has got us covered. So those are some of the commands that you should look out for when you're using Git. So in case of any slight mistake, if somebody comes, adds some fake lines here, saves, goes to this side, adds some fake information, so, and you come and you don't know what has happened, you don't want to commit all that, just bring back this, press enter, and Git will remove for you guys the unnecessary stuff that person added there. So I hope you guys got something in this video series or tutorial. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'm going to see you in the next video. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this simple video you'll learn about the simple git clone command. So what this command does, it targets an existing repository and creates a copy out of it. Have you ever come across such scenarios? I know. So when you're watching a tutorial on YouTube and the instructor tells you to head over to GitHub and download the starter files or the project files that you'll be using in that project or tutorial. So what you're going to do is head over to github.com and search for a simple project that we want to clone. So I want to clone a simple file extension or Chrome extension, sorry, of Brad Travis called the Travis Launcher. So just go and search for that project so long as it exists. Click on the repository link and they will take you to this page. So what you always see in the tutorials, the instructor tells you to head over to this link, go to code and download the zip file or folder. And we don't want to do that. We want to show you the simplest way. I want to show you the simplest way you can use the git bash command line to easily copy all these files in one move. So just head over to the URL section and copy this link. Just select copy and then go to the directory or anywhere on your local machine or the PC you'll be using and open git bash. So I'm going to open git bash on my desktop, so git bash here, and this is what they will be showing me. I'm on the desktop. So to clone this repo or these project files, what I need to do is run a simple command called git clone, then paste the URL that I copied from GitHub. So this is the project or repository that I want to clone on my local machine. So you forgive me for the noise in the background, there are trucks turning. So press enter and they will clone all the project files on your desktop. So if you are to cd or change directory and enter into this repository and press enter, so right now if I do ls, all the files that you saw on GitHub are now on our local machine. So the icon, the image folder, the manifest.json file, the popup.html. So guys, you forgive me for the noise, it's irritating. So let me first clear this. Right now, if you are to run a simple command, Jesus Christ, guys, I'm going to pause this video and get back to you soon. Alright, welcome back. So the guys have stopped turning their tracks here, and the command that I was trying to talk about was the git log. So when you run this command, you see the various commits that were made on this project. So if you press enter, let me first clear the git bash times it git log. So they will show you the different types of commit that Brad Travis made on this project. Remember, we have cloned it from his repository and we are seeing whatever stuff he made on it. So right now, this was the first commit, the initial commit, and then someone called Anat made a pull request and modified on the user interface. So the commit he wrote was better UI, so better user interface. Then when Brad Travis was happy with the changes, he made a merge pull request and merged all the changes that Anat made. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing the name wrong, but when Brad Travis was happy with the changes, then he merged or pulled in the code into his main source code. And as you can see on the right hand side here, where they are showing contributors, there is Brad Travis, the owner, and Anat, the one who added some better user interface on that extension. So this is the command that you run in case you want to see the previous commits that were made on that project. Let me first clear the git bash. So another command that I want to show you is called the git remote -v. So what this command does, it shows you the origin URL. So where you, in case you modify the source code and try to push back to the server, this is the URL that you'll be pushing to, Brad Travis. So if you try to do a git push command, then they'll tell you or prompt you to enter Brad Travis password, which you will not be having. So I'm going to show you how you can change these URLs. So in case you have modified this Travis launcher Chrome extension and you have made it your own and you want to push it to your own repository, then the next command is what you'll be running to own that source code. So to change the origin URL, what you have to do is run this simple command. So git remote, then set URL -URL, then origin, then the URL that you created on GitHub. So I'm going to show you all this. I'm just showing you how you can change these details in case you are to clone a project from GitHub. So we are setting our own URL or origin URL that we'll be pushing to and pulling from. So just say https://github.com/ and GitHub will use your username that you used when you're signing up. So here you put your name, then / and the repository name that you'll be creating. So new launcher. So in case you are to create such a repository, they will show you this. So don't forget the .git. So you have to, they will always add that extension .git on the new repository that you'll be creating. So what we have written here is git remote set URL set-URL origin and the URL that you will be creating. So press enter and this information will now be pointing to our URLs, not Brad Travis. So to check that, just write git remote -v, and right now they will show you these are the new origin URLs that you'll be pushing to in case you are to modify the source code and push it back to GitHub. So they will no longer be pushing to these URLs, they will be pushing to your new URL. So guys, if all these commands that I've shown you don't make sense right away, Git has you covered. So this Git bash has inbuilt, let's say, documentation. So if at all you never understood the git log command, just write git help and the command that you never understood, log, and press enter, and Git bash will open up a simple manual page in the browser. So as you can see, git log shows the commit logs. So remember when we did git log, they showed us all the commit logs, so all the information, so you can read about that command in details. So all the flags you can pass, everything that you need to know about that command. So let me first clear that. Then the next command I showed you was git remote. So you just say git help, and then remote. So this is the command. Let's say you never understood where the remote command, just press enter and you open up the manual page, and they will tell you what it does: manage set of tracked repository. And the set URL flag that we pass through, you can easily see it here. So changes the URLs for the remote. So remember, we changed from the Brighttravis URLs to our own URLs. So when you say remote, git remote -v, then these are the new URLs that we set. So you can see how useful this documentation on manual pages be. So in case you don't know anything about that command that we did, just run and do this. Very simple. So guys, I hope this tutorial was useful to you. If so, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and I'll always see you in the next tutorial. So all the commands that we have been learning in the previous tutorials, just write git help and the command that you want to learn about. So status, enter, and you'll open up the manual page in the browser. So shows the working tree status. Very simple. Peace. I'll see you in the next tutorials. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this simple tutorial, you'll learn about Git branches. So let me first point out some things that I missed talking about in the previous tutorials. So the text editor that I'm using, VS Code, it has inbuilt source control, Git, so version, stuff like that. So when you see this icon here, the source control, just click it and it will open this source control panel. So whenever you see these letters appended on the files, that means Git, the inbuilt source control version, is tracking these files. So when they put M, so it's a modified file, as I'm going to explain. So you'll be seeing letters appended on these files as we go on. So that's one thing that I wanted to point out. Another thing is I added some markup to this file. Remember, if you watched the previous tutorials, I just had this unordered list and the button which you click and they show you subscribed. Very simple. So I just added this header section, some paragraphs, and the footer section. So this is the simple markup that I added on the file, and we are going to do some recap of the commands that we have been using as we go on. So we are going to learn about branches. What you should know, by default, Git creates for you a branch. So this master branch is not something special. It's not a special branch. It's just exact like any other branch. So the only reason nearly every repository has one is that when we run this command, is this command git init. So the command automatically, or by default, it helps you to create a branch, and some people don't bother to change it, which is okay. So that's the first branch that Git gives you. So when you write git branch, you can type branch branch. So they will show you master. So by default, when we ran the other command of git init, it created us a branch called master, which is okay. We are fine with that, because if you are to see even here in the parentheses, we have master. So that's the first branch that Git creates for you. Now let us do a recap. As you can see here, they are showing that I modified the file. So let us do the git status. Sorry. So what this command does, it checks if you have any changed file, modified file. So if press enter, they will show me that I modified this. Oh, and that's cool. So git add, so you can write the file name or just put a period or a dot and press enter. So we have added it to the staging area. So if we run again git status, and it will tell us changes to be committed. Let me first clear the screen. So we added it to the staging area. Now let us commit it. Git commit the -m flag for message, and we say added header footer. Let's say added few paragraphs, header section and footer section. So those are the things that I added to the code. So if we have to save, then they will tell us this. So this is a new commit. If we do git log, and they will show to us the latest commit that we made. This was the first commit, if you remember, the initial commit, and now we have made this commit. Right now the pointers, the master pointers, are pointing to that latest commit. Very simple. So if you do git status, on the branch master, nothing to commit, working tree is clean, so everything, there's nothing. So if we come back here, they are going to remove this m because we added everything. So we have saved or taken a screenshot of the changes, so nothing to worry about. Then let us now switch back to the main topic, branches. So right now we are on the master branch, and let's say now your boss comes to you, let's say me, so team, we decided add some changes to the header section. We want it to be having some background color of teal, make the text white, do anything cool with it. So just make for us a fantastic header section. So we can just come here and write the code, stuff like that. But let's assume it's very complicated. There is a lot of code that you have to write, which may even break the site on your way as you're writing new stuff. So the way Git helps us is we can branch off from the master branch and create another branch. I don't know if that has made sense, but it's like branching off. We leave the master branch the way it is. So we leave something like this. Our clients will be still seeing this, but on the side it will be like side work. You do work from the class, then as you go home and do some side work, so it won't affect the work that you've been doing until you add it to the main work. So it's what we are going to do here. When we create a branch, it just takes all this, it takes that latest commit or the pointer and saves it somewhere else, so on another branch that you'll be creating. So any change that you make, it will be on that branch but not the master branch until you merge them together, and you are going to get this as we go on. So what we are going to do to create a new branch, you write git branch and write the branch name. So I'm just going to call it header section because my boss told me to work on the header section. So you can just give it any name that you want. So git branch header section, press enter, and the new branch will be created. To check that, just write git branch and press enter, and right now they will show you header section and master. And to show you the current head branch that you're on, they will put an asterisk or a star on that branch. And for us to switch to the header section branch, we just do git checkout and write the name of the branch, so header section. So right now we are leaving the master branch, so nothing that we have done on the master branch, we committed everything. So we are going to switch to the header section branch. So press enter, and automatically in the parentheses they will show you that you are on the header section branch. Let us first clear the screen. So whatever change that we are going to do here won't affect the master branch. We shall be on the header section, so our customers will be seeing the old version of this branch. I hope now you're understanding. So we are going to go and modify this according to the stuff that our boss told us. They told us to add some background of teal color, make the text white, add some campaign slogans, stuff like that. We just need to make this header section look cool. So I'm just going to write some simple CSS and we get started. So we're just going to go to the style.css, target the header section. So guys, you forgive me if you are just not a programmer, just sit back and watch, but I'm going to also leave the code on my GitHub account. So we are just going to add some background color of teal. So whatever we are writing, the master branch isn't affected. So some padding of 10 pixels. The color said should be white, and we center everything. Text align center, stuff like that. So that's for the header. And they told us to also go back in the head section. As you can see, VS Code is showing us that this file is modified, and he said we add also the campaign slogan. So we are the best campaign in the whole world. So stuff like that. So this is the best header that you ever see on a website. This is exactly what our boss wants. So if you are to go back and we do git status, they will tell us we have 2 files modified. Remember, I went in the CSS section of file and we added this background color, stuff like that, and we did everything that our boss told us. Very simple. So we made the text white, added the campaign slogan, and everything was done in our markup. So let us add and commit these files or changes. So we do git add. So we are adding it to the staging area. Let me first clear this. So if you do git status, they will show you that they are being added, like they were added to the staging area. And let us commit them. So git commit -m and we say finished the header section. So it's just a generic commit message. So finish the header section. So right now press enter and I will save those changes. So clear this, we do git status, and everything on our header section branch is clean, so there's nothing to commit. And check out this. If I switch back to the master branch, so by doing git checkout, so remember we have master and this head section branch. So we do git checkout master. The moment I press enter, this side is going to change. So master doesn't know about all those changes that we made. So press enter, and this is what master has. So master doesn't know anything about what you have done. So our customers are still seeing the old version, nothing is touched. So if you are to check out the header section branch, that's when you will see the changes. Now let's say we talk to our bosses and they say, yeah, everything looks fine. Now what you need to do is merge them back to the main source code, stuff like that. So what you do is write git merge, and then you write the branch that you want to merge with the master branch. So always merge when you're on the master branch because it's the main branch. So git merge, and then you write the branch that you want to merge. As you can see, master doesn't have those changes, so we need to merge to the master branch. So do git merge, and then we write the branch name, so header section, and press enter. And what they have done is they have done a fast forward merge. So if at all on your, like in your command line, they have prompted you to, like they have given you some Vim text editor, what you do after the merge message will be like up here. What you do to exit, just press the shift key and the button in front of letter L, so the full colon, then and write Q. So shift and those full colon, Q, and press enter to exit that Vim code. That's what you have to write. But for me, what they have done is the fast forward merge. So they have not brought for me those commit, like those commit messages. What they have done, they have taken the latest commit that I made on the head section branch and used it as the commit message, guys. So if you do git log, they will show you here. So this is the latest commit. So they used the commit on the head section branch when they were merging. So they never brought for me the other Vim text editor to write the merge message. So they used the commit message that I used on the head section branch. So I finished the header section. As you can see now, our customers can see this. And for you to master this, we are going to go back and create the footer section. So maybe later on our boss comes back, you know what, our customers were happy with the header section, so what you're going to do is work on the footer section, do the same thing but just add something more cool. Very, very simple. So to do that, we just go back, git branch. So we are creating a new branch and we are going to call this one footer section. Press enter and a new branch will be created. So to check these branches, just say git branch, press enter, and it will show you we have the footer section branch, header section branch, and the master. And the current one, they will always put an asterisk or a star. So for us to switch to the footer section branch, we write git checkout footer section. So this is the branch that we want to check out. Press enter and we have switched to the footer section branch. If you write git branch, so our footer section branch will be the one with this asterisk. Let us clear the screen, and now we are on the footer section branch. These names have gone away. So let us go to our style.css target the footer section. So right now, master, the header section branch, they don't know about what we are going to write right now. So footer, and the first thing that we are going to do is text align everything to the center. This is it. Then do some background color, still teal. Then padding of 10 pixels, and let us make them color white, and let us add some paragraph that our boss told us to add. This is the best footer we have ever created. Wow, that's the best one. So guys, footer, then span, let us make it color yellow. So the word footer, then font size. So guys, I'm just doing what my boss has told me to do. Whoa, and this is it. So let us go back to our command line shell, do git status to check the changes, the files that we are modified. So we are modifying index.html and style.css. Let us add it to the staging area, git add, and then let us commit. So git commit -m, then we say finished the footer section, and press enter, and they will save that. So clear this. So if we do git checkout master, of course master will be having the old code. So right now it doesn't know about the footer section branch, so we have not yet merged the changes to the main branch. And to merge, remember, as I told you, you have to be on the master branch to merge the rest of the branches that you want to bring in. So remember, this is the branch that we want to merge. So git branch, we want to merge the footer section branch to the master branch. We do git merge and write the branch name. So footer section, press enter, and they will do a fast forward merge, taking the latest commit in the footer section branch as the merge message. So if we do git log, we shall see this, the latest commit. So finished the footer section. Very simple. So guys, that's branching in a nutshell. We just create code on a side and later merge it to the main branch, so without breaking or affecting the code on the master branch. So guys, I hope practically you saw how these branches work in the Git world. Very simple guys. If this tutorial was useful to you, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, don't dislike it. I know I made some fake funny comments, but that's it. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next piece.